Hey, what's up, everybody in YouTube world? Happy New Year. This is Chris, aka Barn on 11970, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you guys had a great New Year's Eve. All right, guys, I wanted to give a report on the gold and silver. As you see, it's actually rising right now, which some will say my prediction was wrong right off the bat. Well, remember what I said, and I've said this in several videos. Remember when the Federal Reserve and the media were all talking about how they were going to taper the $10 billion as of January 1st, 2014? Well, as you can see, that day has come and gone. So hopefully people will start to comprehend that just because somebody claims to be a professional, that wears a suit and tie and has a Harvard degree or Yale degree and is supposed to be a professional, they have an agenda and they want to steer people in a certain direction because they know just because certain people say things may happen, they know the market is going to overreact. And if we haven't learned that lesson from 2013 alone, how many times this government has said they were going to taper, the market overreacted, nothing happened, when people are not going to learn and they're going to be easily led. You know, it's just like having a sheep being led by a wolf just because he's wearing a suit and tie. You know, that wolf is going to end up ultimately destroying and eating that sheep. So we have to learn to be individuals and see that just because the government says they're going to do something does not mean they are actually going to follow through and actually do it. I mean, how many presidents do we have to have right before an election where they promise you everything that you want to hear, say everything that's perfectly and politically correct, and when they get into office, they don't do any of it, or barely any of it? So with that being said, if you look at some of my older videos, and if you look at my prediction I made just before New Year's, I based it on the fact that if they were going to taper on January 1st, and I said I had my doubts, and I've had videos before this whole thing happened, where I said I didn't think they were going to taper. Now, they said it was going to happen January 1st, and it didn't. And that's why you see gold and silver actually rose today, and you see the Dow Jones got hammered. Because, again, markets overreact. So if they want gold or silver or the dollar or the Dow Jones to go in a certain direction, all they have to do is go up to a podium, put on a microphone, have a bunch of the prostitutes in the media, just show it on a television, and they'll say whatever they have to say to steer people in a certain direction so they can profit off of people's overreaction. So because of the fact that they did not taper like they said they were going to, the prices of metals did not go down. Now, does that mean that they won't taper? They still could talk about it, and I'm sure they will. They actually could do it, but like I've said in previous videos, even if they did do it, which I highly doubt they are going to, they are not going to be able to do it. It's like taking alcohol away from an alcoholic. How good is that going to be for an alcoholic if they're dependent on alcohol and they drink it every day and somebody decides to take it away? Well, they're going to get very violent, and they're going to find a way to get the alcohol. So even if they take away this 10%, or the $10 billion, which is actually less than 10% of the amount that they have, provided that's the amount they actually are doing, it's not going to last, and it's going to end up going back to where they're going to have to go back to the original and probably beyond as far as quantitative easing. And you will see that metals will rise. So they are going to continue to use the little boy who cried wolf until people finally smarten up and say, wow, I'm going to call their bluff. And you'll know exactly when to purchase your precious metals. Well, if you hear them start talking about a rumor about how they're going to taper again, well, you know the market's going to overreact and you're going to see a downtrend in the precious metals. That's the perfect time to buy, because you'll know that after that, after they say their deadline and it passes and they don't taper, well, the market's going to go the other direction and you'll see them start going up again. That's why you saw today, you saw gold go an average of about $20 over today, and you saw silver over 60 cents. So, I mean, at this point, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, honestly, I wish I knew back in the beginning when I made my first channel, Barn on 11967, back in 2011. I wish I knew then what I know now. But the more you research this stuff and the more you pay attention, the more you see how easy it is to spot the bullshit, pardon the expression. So people can do whatever they want. People can say whatever they want. If you want to listen to professionals all of your life because they wear a suit and tie, have a nice fancy degree, and think they're going to be having their interest in your well-being, hey, a fool and their money is soon parted. So, like I have always said, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying what I do because people care to listen. I stack the physical gold and silver not to become some multi-billionaire or some Bitcoin billionaire. I'm here to become a person who protects their wealth for the day of a potential problem with the US dollar. And unless you think the dollar is going to get stronger because things are going well, things are not going to change for the better anytime too soon, especially when all jobs are going overseas. People here in the United States of America corporation can't get work. Most people are, more and more people are getting dependent on the government to take care of them. If you think that's progress and you think that's going to help benefit our economy, well, then I question you as a person and what your job is and your agenda is, because this is not looking good for anybody. So I am using physical gold and silver for preparation for what seems to be almost pretty obvious at this point. They're just delaying it as much as they can. As long as people are going to use these fiat dollars, they can keep the scam going, but they can only do it for so long, because as they continue to print more and more, and you'll see before this year ends, they will bring quantitative easing up past 85 billion, mark my words. It devalues the currency and things become more and more expensive. So one day if you wake up and a gallon of gas is $30 a gallon and a loaf of bread is $25, there's going to be a lot of people that will have a problem with that. So unfortunately, the majority of people will not react until they have no choice and they're about to lose everything. The smart people who see the writing on the wall before that happens are well prepared. I'm one of those people. It's like having insurance for your car. You don't buy insurance with hopes that you will get into an accident. You have it just in case you do. Thanks for watching. Peace. And happy 2014.